New Zealand's largest company, Fonterra, has warned dairy farmers we may have seen a peak in global milk prices, which is usually followed by a fall in demand. As Drew Chappell reports, right now dairying may be the one bright spot in a sluggish economy.
For more than 10,000 farmers, it's a sight for sore eyes. Andrew Ferrier, Sir Henry van der Heyden and Jonathan Mason giving us the good oil on our leading exporter at Fonterra's half-year results. And it's good news, at least for now.
Literally 3 of the last 4 years have been the 3 highest returns in the industry's history. So we're in a period of very favourable global dynamics, really good demand for nutritious foods, and dairy is truly in a sweet spot, and that's what you're seeing.
A sweet spot, though, that could be set to sour. Andrew Ferrier says while strong global demand is underpinning the near-record prices for dairy products in Asia, at some point things will change.
Now, the one caution we see is obviously with very, very high dairy prices, there's at some point you get consumer resistance to consumption. Right now, we haven't seen it in a big way, but we're at the high end of dairy prices.
The cooperative announced a half-year profit forecast for the first time in its history, showing a net figure of $293 million so far. The company's debt gearing is also at a pleasing level, down from 54% in January last year to just 48.5%. At the current payout levels, Sir Henry van der Heyden says the average dairy farmer will be looking at around an $800,000 windfall. He says this will mean most are paying tax, but was careful to point out farmers aren't out of the woods just yet.
I think it's a combination of things. Look, after 2007, where many of our farmers got burnt, they're a lot more cautious now than what they were 2 or 3 years ago. And we're encouraging that. Get the money in the bank and then decide what you actually do with it. So, there is quite a bit of debt being paid back. There are farmers, I should say, just starting to spend a little bit more on farm around maintenance and repairs.
In terms of production for the season, the company believes they're looking at a small increase despite tough conditions through the latter half of 2010.
As long as we have an average year, an average year means around climate, and we see the dairy markets, let's say, firm. I think the momentum that the dairy industry has in New Zealand, where New Zealand will increase milk production over a trend line of somewhere between 2 and 3%. I don't see that actually changing.
The company hopes this will finally be the year the co-op's long-running share trading issues are finally put to bed. Andrew Ferrier says the discussions with farmers and industry groups are on track, and they're hopeful of a resolution within the year.
The government has instituted their own process that they very clearly signaled, and they're going through their process. We've been working on all the mechanics inside our process, and it's pretty much on target. Now, we did signal, as you're aware, that there'd be an implementation date either November 2011 or April-May 2012 or November 2012, and those still remain the options available to the cooperative.
Another year, another interim result. And while we can't expect dairy's golden run to last forever, you can guarantee these guys will be milking it for all it's worth. Drew Chappell, Country 99 TV News.